Hi guys, welcome back to Banana Bear Slimes. In today's video, because I own quite a few iconic puff slimes, I thought it would be fun to see who truly makes the best puff slime. So to keep it fair, all the puffs will receive a rating out of 10. 5 points for inflation, based upon how many times bigger it got than its original size, and then another 5 points for its overall texture, so as you can see on this screen. And without further ado, let's just get on to the first slime. So the first slime is the iconic I Loaf You Puff from Slime Yoda, and although this slime is older than all the others in this video, I promise it is still in prime condition. I would not include it if it wasn't. But anyways, texture-wise, this slime has always surprised me, because it definitely has more of a soft slay base rather than a butter. But it's also so nice and soft and creamy and squishy, and genuinely has the best bread scent ever. It does have a fair bit of wet residue, but that is often expected with inflatable clay, so I don't really have too much of a problem with that. So anyway, this slime started at 5.5 ounces, and as you can see, inflated to 15 ounces. It became slightly sticky during inflation, but that's completely fine as long as you have activator. And sorry, I forgot to say, I will reveal the scores of the slimes at the end, so definitely stay tuned for that. The next slime is Burp Bakery Bread from Parakeet Slimes, and this is another super iconic puff slime. This one was a little bit stickier to start with, but that didn't affect anything, I promise. I was just activating it a little bit at the start. Texture-wise, I also love this slime. It feels a bit basic to me, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like there's nothing very special about this base, but that's completely fine. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that. It started at 6 ounces in size, and you will see the inflation shortly. It has a decent bread scent. It's not my favorite. It smells quite artificial to me, but that's all good. So as you can see, it went from 6 ounces to 15 ounces in size, and overall, I really love this slime and was very impressed with its inflation. Next up is Marshmallow Fluff from Slime Fantasies. I just a few days ago uploaded a huge Slime Fantasies review, so if you want to see this in more depth, definitely go check that out. But I love this slime, even if it didn't inflate. It's just such a nice butter slime. It's so soft, so fluffy, and so squishy, and it has the most delicious scent ever. I could play with this all day. So it started out 5 ounces, and you will see the inflation shortly. But considering this is a puff slime, I was expecting it to inflate a little bit more. It doesn't necessarily feel like a puff slime, so I didn't really expect it to inflate that well. But it became 9 ounces, and it has such a nice butter texture by itself that I don't feel like it needs to inflate. However, I was expecting it to be a little bit better, but still love this slime. Next up is Cake Batter Fudge from Tibble Slimes, and this is another slime that, even though it is a puff, just has such a nice butter texture on its own. Like, it really doesn't need to be a puff slime because it just feels so good. And I know it's meant to be a butter, but it is also meant for inflation. But it's just so soft and smooth. It has a fair bit of wet residue, but that is okay. It's just so soft, so creamy, and so squishy. It started out 7 ounces. Sorry, I forgot to show it in the measuring cup, but it was 7 ounces. And it inflated pretty well, as you will see. Nearly double its size, which I thought was pretty good. Yeah, I don't know what more to say. I love this slime. It also smells delicious. It smells exactly like Cake Batter Fudge, and I honestly have no complaints with it. It became 13 ounces, which I thought was pretty good. So the final slime in today's video is Lychee Fluff from Momo Slimes, and this one has such an interesting texture, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I just wasn't expecting its texture because it's very fluffy and almost feels like it's full of shaving cream. I mean, I don't necessarily think it is, but it just kind of feels like that. Like, it's so fluffy. It started out 6 ounces and was full to its container. It smells delicious like lychee. And sorry, coming back to the texture, it is a little bit odd for me. I don't play with it by itself. Well, I don't play with it very often just because I wish it had a little more clay. But as you can see, the inflation was off the scale. It was so good. It became 17 ounces, which was nearly 3 times its size. And I was so impressed with that. And once inflated, I actually preferred the texture to when it started. As you can see, it becomes so soft. It just feels like you're playing with whipped cream. Like, it's so soft and smooth and sizzly and fluffy. And so now I am going to be finalizing the results. So I Loaf You Puff inflated 2.73 times its size, giving it a 4 out of 5, and its texture got a 3.5 out of 5, giving it a total score of 7.5 out of 10. Burp Bakery bread inflated 2.5 times its size, giving it a 4 out of 5. Its texture was also a 3 out of 5, and then its total was 7 out of 10. Marshmallow Fluff inflated 1.8 times its size, giving it a 2 out of 5. However, its texture was a 5 out of 5, leaving it with a 7 out of 10. Cake Batter Fudge inflated 1.85 times its size, giving it a 2 out of 5 for inflation. However, its texture was a 5 out of 5, leaving it with 7 out of 10. And finally, Lychee Fluff inflated 2.83 times its size, giving it a 5 out of 5 for inflation and a 3.5 for its texture, leaving it with 8.5 out of 10. So then the final results were I Loaf You Puff 7.5, Burp Bakery Bread 7, Marshmallow Fluff 7, Cake Batter Fudge 7, and Lychee Fluff 8.5 out of 10, making it the official winner of the best puff slime. So that's all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye!